And we're working on some of these now. This building, Floyd and them need to get ready for school. Yeah, so, and I did, tell him that we would, if somebody wanted to work the extra hours, you know.
Ms. Dinner, what was your recommendation? I couldn't hear you.
All the items on the building and grounds report.
Would it be appropriate just to, if we just submit the report into the minutes?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything, there's nothing we want to vote on right now.
Okay.
It is, just end of that, I would, if you didn't think I'd move the end of this report into the minutes.
Okay. Did you hear his motion?
Just to enter this report, make it part of the minutes of this week.
Okay. That's the motion. It was seconded by Ms. Troutman. Any question? All in favor? It's unanimous. Okay. Now we're going down to item 10C. Approval of certified personnel recommendations.
Okay, I recommend, I can't see that.
Javon Jackson.
Yeah, Javon Jackson for high school math.
So moved by Larry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Carroll. Any question? All in favor? Augusta.
Okay. I've never heard of it.
Okay, we're on to item 12A.
All right, I recommend the professional personnel compensation guides, that this is a revision. We had to add that sentence, all reporting of personnel information shall be consistent with the reporting requirements established by the Georgia Department of Education.
Okay, do I have a recommendation? Do I have a motion? By Mr. Thomas, do I have a second?
Second.
By Ms. Thomas. Question? All in favor?
Does this one need to lay on the table 30 days?
Well,
I don't think they have that language, because it's not changing anything.
no, I would think that we could, the board could accept it as it, because it's just a revision. Because it is a revision.
The policy itself's not changing,
I
I mean.
agree. No, that's why for clarification, I want to know if we, so we get one way.
Item 12B.
That's the one that
The
the policy
field trip.
committee
This is a new
discussed last
policy.
night, and it is a new policy, and it will be recommended by the policy committee as written on our committee meeting minutes, that the requirements be all trips that exceed 50 miles or require overnight stay must have board approval, and all competitive events are excluded. And that comes from the policy committee in the form of a recommendation or motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the table.
That was to lay on the table for 30 days.
Yeah,
Lay on
so
the
lay on the
table for 30
table
days.
for 30 days
It's
for
Our new
review.
policy. Okay. So second by Ms. Troutman. Question. I've got a question. Mine just for clarification, when it says number 3, submitted that Thursday prior to the regular scheduled board meeting, I think that kind of pushes. I wish there was a little more time in that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you and I meet before, then I think there should be more time in that. Probably. You see what I'm saying? All
Yes.
field trips. Number 3.
Well, but now the all field trips, that's not what is in the recommendation from the policy committee, because there's only 2 items. We did not include out of state. We excluded all competitive events, and we did not put a time frame when we met that night. I mean, that's been something that's been changed since then.
Well, the reason why,
Probably there before.
the reason why I put Thursday, all information is due for the board meeting by Thursday. Now, we talked about putting 2 weeks ahead of time, but if we took 2 weeks ahead of time, that could mean, you know, 2 weeks and the board not meet for 3 weeks.
Well, we say we meet on the second Tuesday of every month. What about by the first Tuesday of every month or something, you know what I'm saying? More than 2 days, time for you to review it, you and I to at least put it on the agenda, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And gather information. You'll get it that Thursday, we're gonna get it Friday, and then, you know what I'm saying? I think in planning, that goes back to them planning, that it should be more than that. We could exclude that and you just put the timeline on it, but I just feel that Thursday before, it doesn't seem to me required, you know? Especially if it's overnight trips, so you probably already had to do plans, and things like that to get approved.
That needs to be amended, I mean, anyway, because we had removed the out-of-state, that was not included.
Oh, okay.
Because 50 miles is gonna be.
Right, because we said, you know, 50
Yeah.
miles is gonna be everywhere other than
Yeah.
the little bit that
That's
it
right,
did
that's
in
right
the
about
state
that.
of Florida. So
Right.
we took that out and we put the over 50 miles and we excluded all competitive events
Right.
from having to have field
That's how
trip
they consider
approved.
it,
And so, I mean, that needs to, the out-of-state needs to come out of that.
Okay.
Well, really, if you just eliminate, if you just say all field trips within a 50-mile radius shall be approved by the superintendent and must be submitted. Could be,
Well, we prior to the trip,
right.
that's within 50 miles.
But all over that, you know, you have to get board approval, then you would know. So you really could just eliminate that little section, couldn't you?
You're right, you're right.
We
It could.
can,
Because you would know, because it doesn't fall in that range of 50 miles, that it has to have board approval, so we just
Yeah.
eliminate that part.
well, and not meaning to be disagreeable, but I think we probably need to keep all field trips and have one over a 50-mile radius, two excluding, because I think we need to make it a part of
It
the
is,
policy.
all competitive events are exclusive.
Right, but just move that up, I'm saying, to have a 1 and 2.
Uh,
Or, I mean,
Oh.
it's fine, or remove that altogether. I mean, I'm good either way, but just take the all competitive events and make it number 2 and drop number 3 altogether, and let Ms. Folsom enforce the fact that it's due by the Tuesday before board meeting.
Then you really don't, I'm saying if you, the second paragraph
I mean,
says,
we can.
they're within a
remove all
50-mile, if you just eliminate all that middle part right there, it's less reading, and they just know if it's over 50 miles, it requires board approval, and
And I guess,
then the competitive will go up.
right,
And
and I
leave
guess
that
what I'm
bold.
saying, Dr. Benner, is if you, I mean, if
You
we
don't
don't
hold-
state in there that over 50 has to have board approval, it's not in the policy anywhere.
Yeah.
It needs to, that wording, that terminology needs to be in
Oh, okay,
there,
so you're
because what
saying-
you're saying is the superintendent would approve up to 50,
So
but
we
then
don't
you
say what
don't
happens
have
after that.
anything.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying leave the over 50-mile radius as 1 and move the competitive events up to number 2, or at least put that statement in that the board has to approve all field trips over a 50-mile radius. You see what?
Over 50 miles or overnight, with the exception of
Competitive events.
Must
I
be
mean-
approved by the board, it must be submitted to the board at least 7 days, or must be submitted to the superintendent for board review at least 7 days prior to the board meeting.
That,
That covers it.
exactly.
Did you get that?
Write it down.
What we'll do, Larry will put that, I mean, if it's okay, Larry will put that in writing, and as long as the board is in agreement, that's, I mean, because that's your own policy, and Mr. Thomas, you are as well. You are comfortable with us making that as a recommendation from the committee, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we still make that in the form of a motion from the
Okay.
committee. It
And you
doesn't
still,
have-
your second still stands?
Yes.
Okay. Do
It
you have a
actually
question?
doesn't have to have a second because it comes from the committee.
Question? All in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, we're on 12C now. The approval of board policy, JGCD.
This is also a revision, so we can waive the 30-day. This is, put it in that, documentation for EpiPens.
And I mentioned this, folks, in the very last sentence, it comes from GSBA, but any school employee who in good faith administers or chooses not to administer an EpiPen to a student in such circumstances shall be immune from civil liability. Now, my concern is, and I think this, you know, a lawyer's answer for it. If we put that in our policy, and if a teacher chooses to administer an EpiPen or not administer an EpiPen, and is sued, or at least a suit begins, would that teacher not have a good case to come back against us, saying, now, I acted in good faith based on school policy. I was instructed through school policy to do or not do this. So any suit you bring on me just flows right on through me to the school. I don't know if it's important or not. Yeah. If the employee can't be sued, then it doesn't have to put it in there or not. If it can be sued, and we put in there it can't be sued, we are giving legal advice to an employee. At least that's my concern. And other than that, I don't have a problem. I'd like to, unless y'all wants to.
Ms. Foster, would you entertain having our lawyer look at that before we vote on that?
Could we just?
Well, now, Marvine that works with our Harbin and Hartley is the one who looks at this, and I'll
Just
I'll go back to that specific question.
Specifically, are we giving legal, are we giving a legal opinion or legal advice to an employee by putting that one sentence in there? And if they say no, then I'm fine with it. I'll be willing I'm willing to vote to approve it, and hope y'all will too, subject to that one sentence being reviewed.
Well, could we just put it for a 30-day review, which would give ample opportunity to talk to the attorney, and then by board meeting time next month, then we can vote on it then?
That's right, absolutely.
I would make that in the form of a motion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we place policy JGCD for 30-day review and have Ms. Folsom check with our attorneys about the language in the last statement of that.
Okay, I hear a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Thomas. Question? All in favor? It's unanimous.